in this understanding, sometimes we are going to get a little into our heads and, maybe have some of that imposter syndrome and negative thinking. And, like you said, it's just not productive, not in decision making, not in problem solving, none of it. If you cannot see, have that clarity there, you can't expect to have space for new thought,
Yeah.
new ideas, innovations. It's just not going to be possible for
Yeah.
people. And I
Yeah.
love what you do. I love that you take this to the corporate world because, wow, even though there's so many people out there that can use, the principles and would benefit from them immensely. One of the things I do see is the corporations,
Yeah.
wow, they could use it. And I'm not trying to judge like businesses and corporations, but even from my past experiences and, kind of listening to conversations with friends, and it's kind of sad sometimes for me. I just am like, wow, they're so lost. If they just knew that there was a better way and much easier way.
Yeah. I think people, I think people feel tied to having to tolerate working in an environment where they're not really happy because they get paid to do it, right? So, there are very few people that get paid to do exactly what they want to do, but the people that do tend to be the people who are more successful, because when you follow your passion, what we would call our innate wisdom, then you will be successful in doing it, and there's a lot of traditional coaching approaches to business are all very much based upon performance, right? So it's like, how can you do more? How can you get more? How can you measure more? And that actually, I believe, is actually going in the opposite direction to where we need to go, because that then reinforces the fact that you are X being a salesperson or a marketing person or whatever you do, is all geared towards being the best, making the most money. And that's what got us in this situation in the first place.
Mhm.
I'm not saying there's no place for performance coaching, but I think it needs to be augmented with what's going on in the mind of the person being told to perform. Because if you can't take that into account, then people are treated like robots. And I've been through that experience personally many times, where you put a salary in and you get something out, sales, whatever. Um,
Right.
but what happens in between? Like, what's the process of going through that? And that process is a thinking process. It's an emotional process. It's a behavioral process. And as we know, thinking leads to feeling, leads to behavior, and it's a cycle, right? So you may put X in and get Y out, but if in between you're kind of internally kind of destroying the person inside, which I've seen
Mhm.
it happen to people. I've seen people burn out and have to leave the job because they've been destroyed inside, because their values don't match with the culture of the company or whatever. And it just doesn't need to be like that. A company can put X in and get 3X out, 4X out, uh, but also treat the employee like a human being with a thinking mind. And that's what I'm trying to get to.
I love it because that's beautiful, because I think that's actually a huge piece of what's missing in businesses and in the way they're ran is treating your employees as a human being. And vice versa sometimes too, for the employee, realizing
Yeah,
that your boss too is a human being.
yeah, absolutely, Crystal. That's a good point. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It I love it, Pete. I love what you do, and I wish you all the success, man. You're anybody coached by Pete, any corporation, any business, you are, oh my gosh, you're blessed and lucky and just wow. I hope that this reaches so many people, Pete, because you have a lot to offer. You really do. And your wisdom is beautiful. And you embody those principles, and you just know. You just know.
Thanks, Crystal. I really appreciate that. And you know, a lot of this is driven by kind of passion that comes from first-hand experience of this. I've been that guy coming home and having to open a bottle of wine because the day has just been so stressful, and you know, kind of, you know, being called grumpy dad by my kids, and you know, and no, I refuse to spend what 50 hours a week doing that for 2 days a week break and 3 weeks a year break. And
Right.
that you spend a percentage of your time, a significant percentage of your time working. Um, and that should not be a dissatisfied, unhappy 50 hours. There's something right. We human beings were not meant to live like that. Our innate wisdom does not want us to go in that direction at all. So if you see that, if you recognize it, if you want to, you know, often I talk to people about, look, you feel like you're on a hamster wheel, right? You're doing the same thing day in, day out. You know, I can coach them to do, you know, three things, right? Is to kind of be okay on the hamster wheel, to
Mhm.
get off the hamster wheel, or to reinvent it. And I'll help people to do all three, but please don't stay on it, especially if you know you're on it. Because there's a lot of people that don't even know they're on a hamster wheel. They're not happy, but they don't know that. They just, this is life. This is what their life is. But what they don't realize is the impact that's having on other people, their family, their kids, their friends, their
Yes.
colleagues. You know, they don't see it. And I want to try and break that cycle. You know, if you're happy and other people around you are happy, there isn't a problem. But I'd say those people are unfortunately, right now in the minority. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
people out there that need not help, that need understanding, that need to understand the way the mind works, because that sits at the root of all of this, Crystal, all of it, which is why I love the three principles, because
Absolutely.
it can deal with all of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can take it into any aspect of life, you know, from in your home, you know, your relationships with your kids, your spouse, your partner, and like you taking it into the corporate world as well. You know, if we were just a bit nicer and like I like what you said, it makes a huge difference that 50-hour a week job that have to, okay, you know, I have to doing something that you absolutely in your soul you love. It's not even a job. Like, you know, I mean, it is. I'm not trying to take away from it, but it doesn't feel like work. It
Yeah.
just feels natural and beautiful. And then when you do help clients, I think you can agree with this. As we do help clients, you know, and we're just facilitating what's already inside everybody. It's already there. Oh wow, you know, it's an amazing sight to see. It's an amazing sight to see someone change before your eyes. And then the feedback that you get, you know, down the road, whether, you know, months later and
Yeah.
how much it has helped them and changed their company or their home life or whatever it may be. Wow, you know, that's this true gratitude comes from me, you know, in the fact that I was able to work with them. And I think, you know, you understand what I'm saying there. You're just grateful that you can take this experience and just
Yeah.
help, help
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah, yeah, and Chris, I just wanted to, you know, what we're offering here is not, you know, a completely happy,
Thank
peaceful,
you.
all, you know, this is an understanding about the way things work, the way reality really works. So you will still go, people will still have imposter syndrome, people will still be stressed out, but yeah, but now you know why, and when you know
Mhm,
why, when you have the understanding of the mechanism behind it, it
mhm.
loses its power. It really does. And it doesn't stick around as long.
True.
It will come up. It will come up. Geez, Sid Banks had similar challenges too. And he was the guy that, you know, the enlightened guy that started all of this. Well, human
Mhm.
beings were meant to ride a roller coaster. But most of us don't know we're on a roller coaster.
Right.
When you understand the nature of the roller coaster, then you ride it. You just ride it and you kind of have fun.
Yeah.
It just becomes a little less serious. And,
Absolutely.
so you may not find this ultimate job that gives you full passion, but you may be in a job that doesn't give you 100% satisfaction, but you understand why. And that is half the battle. It really is.
Great point. I love that, Pete. That's fantastic. That really is half the battle, is understanding, is just understanding how our human experience works
Exactly.
helps us to navigate those difficult situations. Because yeah, you're right. We're still going to have them. It's still going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
and
the
it has to. I think that's part of the human condition. I'd go so far as to say, Crystal, that's kind of why we're here. We're here to
absolutely.
experience the ups and downs in life. That's